Hello, welcome to the Bubba Army Midweek Wrap-Up Show with Lummy, that's me, and Rhett.
Howdy.
He's on the ones and twos spinning.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Good royalty-free music. Let's just go to this phone line real quick because we have a guest coming on here, Alex Stein, talk about his experience. Line 1, 702.
Hey, Lummy, Rhett, Las Vegas Mario. Sorry, I ended the show. Now I'm going to start your guys' show. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good.
Are you going to ask about my pubes?
No, I think yours are ginger. But, hey, I had a question.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to get on there live with the NCAA tournament coming up and stuff like that? Like, just talking about games and bets. I know you guys do all that stuff. Are you guys going to do stuff like that?
Yeah. I don't know if, maybe next week's show or the week after we'll talk about it, but I'll probably be popping on locals, kind of like I did with the football, watching the games, even talking about it. But, Grouper Lips, $20 super chat. Snipe credit, not for you. We'll probably be making our predictions, things like that. We'll plan it out.
Okay.
And if worst case scenario, if we have to, I mean, like, we could always pop on locals because those games are usually during the day, which I love.
Okay, sweet, because I did subscribe to locals, and I want to hear you guys just talk about games and betting and stuff like that. That'd be great.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, we'll do it.
All right, and Rhett, are yours gray or are they ginger?
They're gray. They're gray. You got me.
Thanks, fellas.
All right, man. Have a good one. All right, let me get our boy here. He's a very busy man. As some say, we're biting off the tip of the main show, but that's what we are. We are the wrap-up show.
Midweek wrap-up show.
Sorry, the midweek. Biggie 7375, $20, another snipe credit. Thank you.
We've had this conversation before, but wrapping up the middle of the week.
That's right. I forgot that he has his little thing.
Oh, his little thing where he chucks you to voicemail?
Well, he has it saved already that you have to call back again. Yeah, I don't know how to do that setting on my phone. Do you?
With the callback? Like it hangs up on you the first time and you have to call back?
Yeah, and then it will ring through. It's a way.
No, I've never heard of that. That's an advanced method of ignoring phone calls.
It'll ring. Watch. See?
Yo.
Hey, what's up, Alex Stein? You're on with Lummy and Rhett on the Above Army Midweek Wrap-Up Show.
You guys are very lucky that Mike Evans re-signed.
Listen, I mean, we were going to get in your hard tech thing, but Rhett and I were talking before the show, and we were, you're a big-time Dallas Cowboy fan, and we wanted to know, when does the special free agency start for the Dallas Cowboys?
Yeah, free agency started for everybody else on Monday, and I don't know when Dallas is going to start doing stuff.
We just got Tig Saig, one of the best deep snappers in the league.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I saw that. That's nice.
Deep snapper we got?
Yes.
Yeah, he had a 98% snap rate. So, I don't know. If I were y'all, I'd be a little worried. See, that's the difference in the Cowboys. They're getting the core players that we need, the guys that you don't even get enough credit. Like, can you imagine the game's on the line, 2 seconds left, and your snapper messes up? So that's not going to happen.
Yeah, the Bucs aren't focused on getting guys they need. I mean, who needs Mike Evans or Levante David or a good kicker like Chase McLaughlin? Like, who needs those guys?
Baker Mayfield, it's okay.
Yeah.
And what
you can have the best kicker in the world. You can have the best kicker in the world, but without a snapper, how's he going to kick it, fellas?
Yeah, but if you don't get in field goal range because you guys don't have a running back.
Well, that's why we almost signed Derrick Henry.
Almost.
He almost got him.
I mean, I thought it would be a perfect spot for him to go with Jerry Jones absolutely mouth-hugging every running back there is in the NFL.
If I'm not mistaken, you guys had Buccaneers legend Ronald Jones in your backfield for an entire season and didn't hand him the ball one time. I don't know what happened there, but now you're complaining you don't have a running back.
And honestly, like we can drop the kayfabe for 2 seconds. The Cowboys are screwed. I mean, Jerry Jones, if he says they're all in, that means we're not going to do anything. So, I mean, the Cowboys are going to stop. And let me just say this, because I know this is a show with all of us talking. I've been to hundreds of NFL football games because I'm very blessed in that regard. The playoff game against the Green Bay Packers, where the Cowboys were down by 20 points within the first 15 minutes of the game, was the worst Cowboys game I've ever seen in Cowboys history. I'm not just saying that. Like, it was, they didn't even compete. So the Cowboys are garbage. I mean, I love the Dallas Cowboys, but they're never going to win. The Bucks are better than the Cowboys. Everybody's better than the freaking Cowboys, even though I still love them.
I actually I took my poor mother, to that wild card round game against Dallas, Tom Brady's final game, and that was a bitter way for that era to end. We had some of the best seats in the house. We got them on SeatGeek like last hour before kickoff. It was a great time, other than watching bitch-ass Dallas go on to the next round.
I know, and the Cowboys stunk right after that. And the Cowboys kind of got lucky in that game. We were heavily favored, and we still barely squeaked it out. So, and I like Dak, but they're about to pay him $60 million. And this shows you why Jerry Jones is so dumb, is that when we were at our best, when we still had Dak under his rookie contract, and of course they didn't sign him to the last year until he had all the leverage in the deal, instead of just signing him in the first year of the deal and paying him like $20 million a year. They signed Ezekiel Elliott to a record-breaking contract, and he never rushed for 1,000 yards again.
Ezekiel Elliott is the entire reason the running back market got fucked up for everybody else. Like, this free agency, everyone's clamoring about all these big money deals that guys are getting, but Derrick Henry just signed for what, like $8 million?
Yeah, not much.
Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, 8.5 exactly, I think. But I don't know. I really have very little hope. You guys, at least Mike Evans is a Hall of Fame wide receiver, so that would have been so sad to see him go play like Pittsburgh. Or I don't know where he was thinking about going, but that would have been a travesty if they would have let him walk.
But so Alex, we wanted to get you on because your heart attack saga. Sorry. Now, you obviously are. You said you have an enlarged heart. Bubba's obviously said some different rumors that you have a cocaine habit with some. Camel Crushes. When you were in New York, did you have any issues
with my heart?
Yeah. Did you have chest pains?
Yeah, it started that Friday. Right,
I know, but was it carrying it on? Couldn't you almost sue the city council meeting when that guy charged at you that you got so scared that your blood pressure went up, your heart started racing, and you were just so scared for your life that, someone charged at you and it raised everything and it got your heart palpitations? And couldn't you say that maybe that city council meeting was the one that jumped it off the ledge?
No, I think that's a really good point. I think that very incident could have sent you to the hospital.
Guys, I was hoping the guy would hit me. That would have made the best content in the world if that guy hit me. The only time I honestly get scared in these situations is because your adrenaline takes over. Because everybody's like, Alex, you're fearless. The places where I actually get scared, and I've been to 2 of them so far, are the Palestinian protests. Those are the places where I really am like, oh, okay.
I would actually I'd be a little scared of the migrant hotel too.
Yes, because they have no repercussions. If they do something to me, they get to probably stay, or maybe they get sent back and they get to go home.
And who's gonna call the cops that are sitting there? They wouldn't even call the cops to get you out of there. You would have been getting your ass kicked, and you would have had to call the cops. Which by the time you were getting beaten and your phone's broken, good luck. I was saying about the city council, you could sue the city council saying that they're the one who caused all this, get all your hospital bills back because they were so argumentative with you.
That's actually smart.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to say.
Now that I'm going to call my attorney as soon as we get off this phone, because I haven't even talked to him since I've been in the hospital, because I know he would freak out. But no, I'm calling my attorney, and we're going to sue them right now.
Yeah. Not only did they take away your right to free speech, but they sent you into a spiral.
Yeah, because maybe Friday when you got off the plane and everything, you were already nervous. Your blood pressure was a little up, but with not having proper security and that guy attacking you and city council shutting your thing off, it just put it above the boiling point. And now you had that issue. I mean, they could have killed you.
This might be a national story by this time next week.
Exactly.
It should be a national story. And you know what, guys? This is how you know that our media is fake. Some Newsmax hosts have shared it, so hopefully they cover it. Some OAN, but those are conservative. They cover me anyway. But the fact is that I'm in New York City, and this is what everybody said. There's protesters outside of that hotel all the time. I've gotten the farthest in there with a camera as anybody's gone so far, and yet no mainstream media will cover the fact that Americans are struggling to pay their bills. Yet if you say you're an illegal immigrant, you get a free hotel in the most expensive real estate in the world and a gift card. People should be yelling. The black community should be screaming at the top of their lungs saying how unfair this is. But nobody does. Well, so that's why the mainstream media won't cover this.
We have a great listener and Hall of Fame Grouper Lips that he points out there's 680,000 homeless vets on the streets.
Exactly right. And what do they do for them? Nothing. And as a matter of fact, the care that they give vets is even worse, because if the vet is an alcoholic, they give them terrible antidepressants for their PTSD. Like, the protocols in the hospitals aren't really helping the vets. So I mean, they give them medicine that just makes them more depressed. And if they won't help out a veteran that risked his life to go fight in a war, but they're going to give a legal immigrant that has a criminal history a free hotel room. We don't live in America.
Well, speaking of vets, there was a big embezzlement scandal down here in Tampa, not too far away from us. It was all right. So I'm gonna read the post that I saw it. It was a current resident at New Beginnings Tampa, a transitional housing facility for vets. Allegedly, the pastor of the church running the show has been embezzling funds from the VA meant for the facility. He's gone so far as to fire all the staff in an attempt to remove evidence from computers and paper documents. As a current recipient of housing here, I'm afraid what will happen to us vets living here. Allegedly, the FBI and VA are investigating these matters. I think a story needs to be done so those of us here don't just get kicked out. We need help. Now, maybe I haven't been looking that hard, but I haven't seen that story get picked up. And I mean, this stuff happens all the time, but it's just another example of, like you said, how poorly they treat veterans in this country and a lot of times take advantage of them.
Well, Stein, let me ask you, do you know the statistic on what the veterans usually vote, how they vote, or do they go red or blue normally?
Yeah, I would say that they're more conservative after they get out of the war. I think that conservative is not the right term because everybody calls me conservative, but the reason why I identify as conservative is because I'm anti-government. I want less government intervention. Like, I want us to be able to have guns. I don't want all these rules so we can, limit who can have a gun. My point is the more governmental control that we have, the worse the system's going to run because they're going to be able to give money to random pastors that are going to misallocate funds for veterans. Like, we just have a screwed up system, and the government only makes it worse. If we had like a private sector probably helping veterans, it would do a much better job. But since it's the government, it's just going to be full of bloat and waste. I mean, we don't live in America. We live in the New World Order where we're struggling, and everybody that is an illegal immigrant, they get a free ride, a free hotel. It's a two-tier justice.
Well, yeah, because they want, obviously, the New World Order wants every country to just be blemished so they can run everything under one currency. Right?
Oh, literally. No,
yeah.
That's. I mean, if we're going really deep, they want us under. They want us. It goes from the Tower of Babel. I mean, I talk about this all the time. People don't realize it comes from the Bible. So, and I think it's Genesis chapter 11, verse 9, and if you flip it, it's 9:11. I think it's Genesis. I forget which book of the Bible, but the Tower of Babel was Nimrod.
Yeah, it was. It was the end. I think it was toward the end of Genesis, but yeah, it's in Genesis.
Yeah. Well, yeah, or it's Genesis chapter 11, verse 9. If you flip it, it's 9:11. That's just a weird thing. But the story of the Tower of Babel is that Nimrod wanted to build a tower to the kingdom of heaven to go kill God.
He wanted to reach the heavens.
And then God made everybody have different languages and different groups, and they all broke off into different tribes. But what these people are doing that worship Satan, they're trying to reverse engineer that. They want us to be under one rule, one controller, and that controller would theoretically be Satan. So I know that sounds crazy. We sound like a bunch of tinfoil hat conspiracy theorists, but when you see our country, bringing in illegal immigrants so that they can vote for them, they're trying to listen, we're a melting pot, but we're not that melted. I mean, they're trying to melt us way more than we really are because they don't want us to have how do I even describe this? A uniform American. They want the American to be a multicultural, multinational, multi-gendered human being, and that's the goal. Like, this is what they say scientifically, that if human beings live long enough, let's say we live for another 1,000,000 years or however long, one day we will all be the same sex and the same race because we'll all be having sex and intermingling with each other. And that's their end goal. How freaky is that? It
is. And I mean, because they're trying to weaken the dollar so that we have to go to a universal dollar
and overspending. They're going to have a central digital currency very soon.
Exactly. So, I mean, is that kind of stuff like just drive your blood pressure up, or do you just stay calm while you read it? You know what I mean? Because it is scary, in my opinion.
Is it that or the cheeseburgers? Like, what specifically did the doctor tell you on your way out that you need to change? Because you got to make some changes, pal.
Oh, I do. No, this is a huge wake-up call. I'm not just saying that. Like, I do have to quit. No Camel Crushes, no nothing. I gotta lose 25 pounds. I got to get back in my fighting shape because I think that's if on a serious note, I was stressed about all this other stuff, but the fact that I've gained this weight so fast, my body is not like holding it right, if that makes sense. I just don't feel comfortable. When I sleep, my body does not feel as good as it did in November when I was a lot thinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you added it back on pretty quick. I mean, your heart
Really
probably was
quick.
like, shit.
Dude, because my chest hurt. I just stopped exercising, and then all of a sudden I just started going to Burger King, and they have that Impossible Burger, and it's full of like estrogen, and so my boobs are getting big. My semen is getting less.
Well, I mean,
less testosterone.
If you want to go down that angle too, I mean, look, the Impossible Burger, you got, and they say it's not a big deal, but you got all these farmlands being bought up. They're making these fake burgers, it's fake chicken, all this fake stuff, and they're going to be able to control what goes into that, even though they can't technically with the chicken and burgers, but they're taking away the farmlands, and soon we'll just have all processed food.
Yeah, they can do a chicken. Dude, they give those chickens, when you go to Tom Thumb and you're like, or you guys go to a Publix, you go to Publix, you're like, why are these chicken thighs like 27 cents a pound? I can get like a whole pack. It's because that's chicken, but they give those chickens so much steroids.
Yeah. They're huge. They're fucking ginormous. You get them at, I've seen it at Publix a few times, but the other place that honestly I get the biggest chicken wings of all time, when's the last time you've had Buffalo Wild Wings?
Well, Buffalo Wild Wings, I go there. I get the fried cauliflower. I go with prepaid all the time. But why are their wings getting bigger or smaller there?
Oh, they're huge.
Right?
Yeah, they're getting bigger.
Oh, they're huge now. Yeah, that's genetically modified chicken. That chicken is pumped with every steroid. And that's another thing. You guys make fun of me. I'm not saying everybody should be a vegetarian by any means. Maybe you don't have to eat meat for all 3 meals of the day. That's if I had to give you my health advice, which don't take it from me. I just got I just had a heart attack. But we kill over 2 million cows a day and 6 million chickens a day. So think about how many chemicals they have to use to breed that many chickens. So they're using every kind of chemical. And then on top of this, farmers, when they buy their seeds from Monsanto, they have to buy special chemicals from Monsanto to spray on the seeds for them to grow. And Monsanto does that on purpose. So that if you buy the seeds from them, you can't just be a factory farm. Like you can't just farm without their other chemicals. So we're getting every seed, you guys, from the seed of the corn. Like there's all these conspiracies about it. The corn that you're eating is processed crap, full of chemicals that wouldn't even grow without these chemicals. So we're all screwed.
Tim Terry brings up a good point. Maybe it wasn't the vaccine that gave you the heart attack, since you don't have it, but maybe it was all this plant-based meat. They're putting stuff in there.
That is part of it. And I want to say for YouTube, it is safe and effective. The vaccine is great. It is very safe and effective.
Yeah, yippee-yo, number one. Now, if anybody should know anything about nutrition, though, it probably is Tampa Terry, because it's clear as day just on the labels at the grocery store when you look at all the stuff that's chock full of chemicals on a box of macaroni and cheese. If you pick it up here and you read the ingredients list, and then you go to Canada or another country and you read the ingredients list on that, it's a quarter of the size.
Yo, dude, it's way less. There's I forget the chemical that's in our meat. It's not even allowed in the European Union or China. Yeah. And it's this chemical that's like all over our meat. So we're having conspiracy hour, but let's talk about the last conspiracy before I go. This is a real conspiracy. Let's all connect it. The NFL is 100% rigged, dude, 1,000%. I don't know if the players are in on it, but the refs are in on it. I'm zero doubt in my mind.
What do you mean? You weren't listening to the wrap-up show a couple weeks ago when we had
NFL referee?
An NFL referee tell us it's all real.
Yeah, and y'all had that guy after the Super Bowl, that famous clip that's all over YouTube, the guy that got Super Bowl MVP for Tampa in this. You remember he had 2 interceptions? You know the guy I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Dexter Jackson. No, it was Dwight Smith. Dwight Smith. He was on Pewter Report's podcast. I was there that day. I believe this is what you're talking about, right? He went on the podcast and he basically admitted the whole thing was rigged.
Yes, he said they knew every play they were going to run, and that's when John Gruden switched from the Raiders to
They were
Tampa.
doing a live remote at a Glory Days right by my house, and I went, and I got there like an hour after that happened, and it was the most awkward thing.
Well, he said that he knew all the play calls because the coach, I can't remember his name, but Bill Callahan, I think it was.
Oh, Bill Callahan, it was.
Yeah, he was the coach, and he was the offensive line coach, the offensive coordinator, and they moved him up, and so Gruden knew his whole playbook. I mean, do you really think that? Why? Because the Cowboys haven't won since the '90s. Is that why?
Well, no, that's not why. Because I think the refs rig it in the Cowboys' favor sometimes in the regular season. But I think that Jerry Jones has messed with the NFL so much that they don't want to let him win. And the Cowboys are the most profitable franchise. So they're doing. If you guys think Jerry Jones actually cares that we lose, that's another conspiracy. Jerry Jones does not care that the Cowboys lose. Like, of course he wants them to win. I do believe that. But every year we're the most profitable franchise. The guy is a billionaire. Like, as long as the Cowboys are making money and every game sells out, what incentive does he have to actually win if everybody goes to every game and everybody loves him and they're the most popular franchise. Like, he's not incentivized to win because people are going to like the Cowboys regardless, just because they're quote unquote America's team.
It would make it that much easier for Jerry Jones to grope some women in the bathroom.
Listen, I'm like half on board with you. I can't buy in all the way to the league is rigged thing just yet, but I do believe it is not a far stretch of the imagination that Jerry Jones is one of the most crooked motherfuckers in the NFL.
Dude,
he's got deep roots, man. He knows where the bodies are at.
You know, Jerry Jones got a girl pregnant, a woman in Arkansas that worked for American Airlines. He will not, and now it's finally going to court. She sued him. So when she was born, Jerry Jones gave her a trust where she could get it at like 22, 24, and like 30 and pay for her college and gave her $1 million. But this is all in the court documents that she couldn't say that Jerry Jones was her dad, even though he's admitted that he paid for all this stuff, giving her millions of dollars. Now, I guess the woman's a little older and she wants to be part of the Jones family, and he's fighting it in court. So he's such a scumbag. He knows it's his own biological daughter, but because of his current family, he doesn't have the integrity to say, you know what, I got a girl pregnant, and this is your sister. Like, these are your brothers. That's the biggest scumbag. Your own child, your blood, and you disregard them.
You mean like Hunter Biden did with his daughter? I think it was in Arkansas too, right? Wasn't that in Arkansas?
Hunter Biden, yeah. Yes, and he didn't want to pay child support. He got that stripper pregnant, but now I think they have, because they did the DNA test. Now he has to admit.
But I think he pays her off, he's like paying her off, but she can't use the last name Biden. Man, Arkansas, man, those chicks are fucking fertile, I guess.
Yes, and that's where Hillary Clinton's from, and Bill Clinton. I mean, that place is the scummiest. Like, the people of Arkansas are great, but Mena, Arkansas, the boys on the tracks, that's where during the Iran-Contra we were flying all the Nicaraguan cocaine. We would give the Nicaraguans guns. They would give us cocaine, and they would fly into Mena, Arkansas, and the CIA would distribute it to like guys like Freeway Ricky Ross in L.A. and to people in Miami. And everybody would say, Alex, the government can't give drug dealers drugs. Well, Freeway Ricky Ross said that he didn't even know who the cartel boss is, that he would talk to a guy and they would leave him a U-Haul truck. He didn't know who the money went to. When you're buying drugs at that level, you're like talking to sketchy people. You don't know who gets it. So it'd be so easy for the CIA to pretend to be a drug dealer selling another drug dealer drugs. So they want drugs on the street. If you look at the fentanyl crisis, guys, the only reason we left Afghanistan and another reason that we invaded Afghanistan, they have the poppy fields. All the heroin that gets done in America, it's basically grown. The poppy's grown in Afghanistan. And when the Taliban was in control, they cut down all the poppy fields. Yet when we invaded, we grew the poppy fields back. And not only that, we had military protecting the poppy fields. Just Google, the New York Times did an article about it. Military soldiers and poppy fields. It talks about how we had armed soldiers.
Yeah,
but then once fentanyl became huge, they didn't care. We left Afghanistan. We don't need that poppy. We have
but the cobalt too, man. You got to think about the cobalt. Now the Chinese are taking over, and that's why I still think that both wars that under the Bush administration with Iraq was all because for China. Because look at Iraq. Iraq exports almost 89% of their oil to China. You know, and now you got all the cobalt in Afghanistan, and who's big in Afghanistan right now? China.
Well, you know they're. Yeah,
and who's building that super highway? You know, the highway that goes around China. And guess what? Who had links with China back in the 80s? Bush.
Afghanistan.
Bush Sr. Bush Sr. too.
We gave the guns to the Mujahideen to fight Russia, and that's what became the Taliban. So inadvertently, we created Al-Qaeda by funding their proxy war against Russia. And then fast forward 10 years, then we're fighting those same guys that used our military training and our outdated weapons that are shooting against our own soldiers. So we're screwed. That's why it's so. Well, let me finish this. That's why it's so beautiful that you guys get to be in Tampa. I get to be in Dallas. Like, we are lucky, even though America's crumbling. We still have to have a little gratitude for what we have because we know what's going on. So that's kind of like we know that they're trying to trick us. So at this point, we just have to try to ignore it and live the best life that we can.
Exactly. Well,
all right,
we appreciate you coming on and talking a little bit conspiracy.
And I love talking football. I need to come on. We got to talk pure football. Okay, fellas. I got to get some work.
Have a good one. Keep your heart good. Fish oil, some garlic maybe. Fish oil is really good for your heart. Do you do anything for your heart there, Rhett?
I try to walk.
Okay. Well,
Try
you
to
ride your
walk.
bike too, right? And skateboard.
When I can. I've been slacking. I've been fucking slacking. I need to get after it, get back on my bike.
And you finally got off those Camel Crushes too?
Yeah, I did.
As a big-time smoker.
Stopped hanging around those Nebraska girls.
Being a big-time Camel. But yeah, I mean, Stein took us down like a little bit of a rabbit hole there on the conspiracies.
Hey, you can't have Alex Stein on the show and not talk conspiracy a little bit. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Fighting a good fight.
I mean, I think he has a lot of good points. I liked the interview. I wanted to ask him if he had Freeway Ricky Ross on.
Ricky Ross.
That would actually be... I would like to listen to that interview because I don't remember seeing him on his show, but it sounds like he did talk to him, or maybe he just heard a podcast, but that seems interesting because I just Googled him, and I don't really know much about him. Do you?
Just clarify, the big-time drug dealer Freeway Rick Ross, not the rapper.
Yeah, cracking the system.
Yeah.
I wonder if Rick Ross changed his name for
Ricky Ross.
For that reason.
The biggest boss.
But that was Alex Stein. Thank God he's okay. I didn't think he was going to be able to come on to our show today. He broke everything down for us. So thank you very much. And thank you, Stein, for coming on for our midweek wrap-up show. But there was some other stuff that went on during the week. I guess Monday. And I wanted to get your take on this, Rhett. On Bubba with the NHRA and the Gator Nationals. And I saw a lot of people, a lot of fans on different platforms, maybe Facebook, Twitter, have a negative condensation.
Condensation?
Condensation. I'm like Bubba up here.
Sweating it out?
Yeah. About how Bubba was bitching to NHRA. And I see Bubba's point. But I don't think that we got your point, Rhett.
My point.
How do you feel on how Bubba handled the whole NHRA? He got screwed over. He felt like he didn't get the press passes. And now he's pretty much saying, fuck off. 813-90-BUBBA, 813-90-BUBBA. If you want to call in and give your opinion on it. But, you know, Bubba said on Monday, he said, fuck the NHRA. I'm not going to go to any more NHRA events. I'm not going to promote them anymore. I'll go and see my friends. But I'm done with the NHRA business. Do you think he overreacted for how he was treated over the weekend? Or do you think he handled it just right for being, you know, a superstar that Bubba is?
I plead the fifth.
Remember, Bubba said you could let it rip.
No. I mean, I hope I don't get any pushback. No, I think he has a valid point, but as someone who wasn't there, I didn't go, so I don't know the full extent of access he had, but he got some damn good video of Tony Stewart getting ready for the race, putting his gear on. He was standing there right in front of Tony Stewart. He hugged him, gave him a little fist bump, told him he loved him before he loaded up into his race car. He got some awesome video behind the starting grid. It got us a lot of views. You know, the Tony Stewart video did exactly what he was hoping it would do. I think it's at 65,000, right around there last time I checked.
Nice.
You know, which for an HRA Top Fuel video, it's really good because it's going to be one of the most viewed Tony Stewart videos from that weekend, I think.
Yes.
But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Again, I wasn't there, so I don't know exactly where he got jobbed out. I can understand at the end of the day, the NHRA looking at the agreement they have with Bubba, and they're like, listen, this guy's got a radio show. He's got an online platform. He does a lot of free promotion for us, and we give him, you know, a weekend here. So I can understand how he's not the same as just regular ass media. He's not the same as just a regular media guy. He's really not. And he can bring a level of coverage that a lot of those other guys can't. Like, you know, if they had him in the roped off influencer section or whatever they had him as, he'd be over there with a bunch of jobbers who probably, you know, don't really know about the cars, don't know about the drivers, haven't been around a racing atmosphere.
And our fans are and have been big auto racing fans, whether it's NASCAR, which a lot of people are getting off of, to NHRA. And the Bubba Army will, you know, at least go check out.
Correct.
The NHRA.
And that's the aspect, too. Like, we even talked about it with USF, and LM12 brought it up in YouTube chat. His followers are loyal, unlike most media. If Bubba says he's going to be somewhere and he's planning on going somewhere, if you say that you're going to be somewhere and you plan on going somewhere, if you want to Tropic Like It's Hot,
Tropic Like It's Hot,
you're going to have people show up. because they want to be there with you. Like, they want to be a part of what we have going on, and most of the audience likes that stuff anyways.
Yeah, it's a big family.
So I think there is a much different dynamic, giving Bubba media credentials than there is to just some stupid TikToker or some guy who got viral talking about racing. But
especially NHRA, and knowing that Bubba gets along, has known the Ron Capps.
But, like, how much more access did he want? Like, did he want to be in the car? I thought the footage he got was pretty awesome. And it didn't seem like they were kicking him out of there. I know some of maybe the pit guys were mad that he was back there because, like,
well, I think it was
he
more.
Wasn't, he was, to be fair, like, he's in pit lane. He's standing with Tony when he's getting dressed.
Yeah, but I think
he's the only guy not wearing Tony Stewart stuff.
He didn't want Tony. He wanted more than just Tony Stewart.
Right.
They would let him go film Ron Capps, Matt Hagan.
Yeah.
He named a couple other drivers, but I guess he was not allowed to tape their takeoffs and get close to them compared to Tony Stewart, because obviously Tony Stewart's going to tell them to go fuck themselves.
So did they specifically have him written down as friend of Tony Stewart? Because I remember last year at the 23 Gator Nationals, it seems like they embraced Bubba a lot more. Like, you remember they had him speak on the microphone?
Yeah.
They had him talk to the crowd. They introduced him. They gave him a big hubbub. The host of the event is, ladies and gentlemen, radio legend Bubba the Love Sponge. Crowd went crazy. I don't know if they did any of that this year.
It doesn't sound like it. We would obviously have tape. It looked like that they kind of dropped him out this year. And you can't kind of roll out the red carpet like that and then take away your, it's not like the race. He didn't promote the race as much as he did last time. We still had we had racers on. He gave away tickets.
Yeah, we still did ticket giveaways.
So it's kind of weird. I don't know. I agree with Bubba. I mean, Bubba coming from a huge platform that he was in, and the way that YouTube has grown, I feel like that they kind of dropped him out, and I think he was right to be upset.
Yeah, I get it.
Let's we got a couple phone calls here. Sorry, I got a text from someone that said it's an emergency.
You got a text from Bubba saying he's pissed the fuck off at me?
408, no.
Is that the emergency?
Hey,
how's it going?
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go for it.
Okay.
408.
Listen, guys, my name is Mario. I just want you ask why Baba or NHRA treat him that bad. First of all, you have to understand something. Baba is Baba, right? And yesterday he was talking about the bolts and the rivets that they used to build all this stuff, and he was saying things that are against the law of physics, man. And I was just laughing my ass off. I mean, when you talk like this on an open air, even if you Baba and you say that when you heat a metal, the metal will contract. No, when you heat something, it's expanding. So just to make a parenthesis, that's why people don't give him, put aside all the stuff with the tapes and everything else. And that's why probably people don't give him too much credit,
Well, you're talking about the
opinion.
Titanic with the bolts that Bubba talked about?
Not only that, how they build this in New York, all these buildings. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, because what he said there is against the law of physics. So people that have a little bit of education will laugh at him, It's just so simple, It's not that I say that. You can read for yourself that if you heat something, it will expand. It's not going to contract,
No, you make a valid point, but honest to God, that's why people have been laughing at the show for 30 years, is that
and me too.
Bubba's going to be the first guy to tell you he does that.
I listened to him since he started on. I was a Stern fan, and when he moved on, I used to live in California by then, and now I live here. But I used to listen to him when he started with Stern on Sirius. And I love him, But some people. I mean, not me. Me and you. We are just regular people, but the people that have power, when they say, "Who's this guy? What is he talking about?" Anyway, I think that's something that probably might have something to do with it, And again, you see, it's Baba, and God bless him. If he has that power to convince people to he wants business, right? But
Yeah.
he was now for a while in the doghouse, and now he has to kind of calmly and slowly regain his power and conquer the world.
Yeah, I get what you mean, but I definitely think he's made a lot of progress from where he was, when those things were much fresher.
No, absolutely.
And
we're not discussing that. Obviously, He did a lot of. I remember when Baba, how he was treating 25 and the other guy that stole his tapes. I don't remember his name.
Oh, Spice Boy and Kauta?
Spice Boy, yes.
Yeah.
Come on, you remember that? He said, Spice Boy jumped from the fourth floor in the pool, okay?
Yeah.
Well, technically, just to let the cat out of the bag, that was fake.
Yeah.
The fourth floor,
guys.
the sixth floor jump was a fake thing.
Was it?
Yeah, it never happened.
It was a bit.
It was a bit.
Oh, okay.
That was before we had video.
I wasn't privy to that movie, but anyway, listen to that. He was a MF. Come on.
Yeah, I know, but you still can't fuck him over. But I got what you're saying.
Yeah.
But
okay, guys.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You guys have a very nice show, and I'm so pleasant to listen to you. Okay, I'm pleased to listen to you.
Thank you, Mario.
Thank you, Mario.
Appreciate it.
You take care, guys.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Calling live from the Roosevelt Hotel.
Oh, come on.
Dude fucking got me. I saw it in chat. And I couldn't hold it in, man. I really couldn't. But I was going to say, he called in. He immediately started talking about architecture. So I took a step back. He sounded like he knew what he was talking about.
Hello? I think 902? 902?
Hey, brother Tampa Terry here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Tampa Terry.
Hey, Tampa Terry here calling in on the Canadian landline. Just want to say great show today and yesterday, and some great calls from Alex Stein. And I was just that video of the New York police officer yelling Bubba Army at Alex Stein, that was rugged as hell, brother. Is there any chance that video gets posted up?
Yeah, I'm sure. I think he texted back to Bubba, and Bubba said that he was going to post it up. He'll probably post it first on Facebook, then go to Twitter, and then we'll get it and probably put it up on Instagram and things like that.
Yeah, that was pretty rugged, bro. I like to make my jokes about, New York City with all the liberals there, but there's actually a lot of good, rugged people in New York City too. And I personally happen to agree with what Bubba was saying about the Titanic. I saw a documentary about the Titanic when I was in high school, and I thought that everything about that boat was a piece of crap, and I hate all those pictures and videos of it at the bottom of the ocean. It looks creepy as hell. Piece of shit.
I mean, if you really wanted to go into the conspiracy theory, and there's a conspiracy about the Titanic, do you think they rushed it because the Rockefellers wanted to control, and they say certain people were on the boat that they wanted to get rid of, and maybe they would have taken a different boat if the Titanic was pushed out a little bit more, and they wouldn't have had control to sink the boat?
Oh, absolutely. And, the central bankers, those guys are behind a lot of things. And I also think Bubba was onto something when he said they were cutting costs, too. It was a cost cut Willie. And, I just don't like any of that Titanic stuff at all. I don't really like boats or the ocean in general. So none of that stuff, that's all bad news to me.
That boat was probably Canadian made, though, wasn't it?
No, believe me, it would be a lot higher quality if it was made up here in Canada. Like Wright was saying earlier, we have better food ingredients up here. That's why Bubba gets the Canadian ketchup and Canadian peanut butter, brother.
And Canadian milk, too.
Yeah, well, they're actually Justin Trudeau's taking away the bagged milk up here, so we're not going to have the bagged milk. I know that you Americans can't even fathom bagged milk and the mechanics of that, but that was one of the last great Canadian parts of Canadian culture that's going to be taken away soon.
And Fidel Castro's kid took it away from you.
Yeah, you let them take away one right, they'll take away all of them, man.
That's right. And anyway, great shows. I love you guys.
Terry.
Love the Bubba Army. God bless.
All right, see you, Terry. The great Tampa Terry. I'm surprised no one wanted their snipe on it. Usually Tampa Terry's a quick one to go.
He sounded like he was on speaker.
Yeah, I think he was taking a shit.
I think he jobbed us out a little bit on the crystal clear phone line.
Yeah, I mean, it still was pretty clear for being on the speaker, but he probably was taking a huge dump at it. What was it, Tom Thornton or
Tim
whatever.
Hortons, Tom Thornton, Bill.
Tim Hortons, where supposedly he smeared shit all over it, but
oh god.
But I mean, a bigger story. I mean, so we got your opinion on the NHRA. I think the NHRA rigged. Mario, that you say called from the Roosevelt Hotel.
I didn't say that.
Days.
I didn't say that. I hate. Yeah, said that in the Rumble chat. It made me laugh.
But I think they wronged him, and I totally understand where Bubba has that anger toward I think he's going to get internationals, what, 2 years in a row now?
I think 3.
3 years in a row? And especially now with Tony being their big thing, and you think you would want, Bubba just representing with our huge coverage on Bubba Army HQ, getting it out there.
And that's something that I wish didn't have to go away. Like, I know he's upset with the NHRA, but if he can somehow salvage this relationship, then I would love to get more Tony Stewart content in the future, even if he's just promoting Top Fuel stuff, because Tony Stewart, just like Hulk Hogan, gets us a lot of views. That
is true. Wait, we got another phone caller who thinks he's getting jobbed out. And by the way, I think you called this yesterday, Red. I was going to move into this topic about NFL free agency. It's been a very busy couple of weeks in the NFL free agency, but I believe we have now he's going to predict the Super Bowl champions for next year. Is this a little purple jersey?
Yeah, Pittsburgh Steelers are winning the Super Bowl. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. That team is stacked.
Did you see the thing? It's, Steel City, let's weld. with
yeah,
him doing
I thought
the
he was
Broncos
going to more
country.
so transition into Big Ben, and it was going to be Steeler country, let's rape. But we'll see what happens with him there. I wanted to we can talk about free agency, but the NHRA, I don't know what contract Bubba has with them, how he got jobbed out, whatever. The NHRA is a sanctioning body. I race at NHRA races. That whole sanctioning body is just a joke. The president or CEO or whatever makes millions.
Oh, they silenced him. He was about to let the cat out of the bag, and they got him.
Is it him again? Oh, 408? No, it's not. He's on 408. 408?
Hey, hello.
Hey.
Yeah. Guys, listen, I just heard that you said I just called from the Roosevelt Hotel. Well, I just need to make a very small comment. I lived 30 years in Silicon Valley. I'm an electronic engineer, and I make a lot of money. Okay?
I didn't say that. There was someone in chat.
Buddy, I live in Bradenton, and I own 5 houses, okay? So whoever said that I called from Roosevelt Hotel, he will just dream to be me, okay?
Hey, exactly. Mario, come on. It was a little bit funny, though, right?
Well, it is. Well, listen, it's funny, but again, you have to look who's coming, okay? Come on now.
Oh, yeah, exactly. No, we appreciate it. That's why I put you back on. See you, Mario.
The Mario disclaimer.
Hey, listen.
You had to call in just to clarify. Actually, I'm fucking pimp. I got 5 houses.
I don't blame him.
I stay on the water in Bradenton.
Mario, don't be in the Facebook chat or anything like that. So Hootie might be living at one of your houses next week.
Watch out. You start talking about properties.
Canadian Rob, which, I mean, Hootie called up. I was surprised Bubba let him talk so much. He sounded a little bit better.
Yeah, but he put Florida Phil in the hospital, so.
That's true. He gave Florida Phil a grabber. He must have surprised him so much that he was sober and cleaned up his house. I mean, Little Purple, you can call back if you want. Oh, is that him? So you were talking about the NHRA?
I was. I'm driving through D.C. right now, so I guess the feds got me and didn't want me bad-mouthing anybody.
Telling you.
But, yeah, the NHRA is just a joke of a sanctioning body. Bradenton event did. That was a different sanctioning body paying $250,000 with one race. NHRA just treats their racers like shit. They have a great fan experience, but everything outside of that is it's just a joke. So I can see why Bubba's frustrated. Again, I don't know what kind of contract he has with them, but I don't think they just give any sort of starting line access to just random people. Not that Bubba's random, but it's a huge safety thing.
But Bubba only got that for just Tony Stewart. So, and I think he said that he saw some other people that were a lot closer. So,
well, so the staging lanes where he got that video of Tony, like where he gave him the hug and everything, you can just get that with a restricted area pass. They call it a wrap band. And you can be in the staging lanes for whatever class, whenever. But the big thing is right on the starting line and in the water box. That's a little bit harder to get. And I think you really, truly have to be some sort of crew member to get on, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, and that's kind of what I was alluding to. But even if that's not the case, I realistically, not that this would happen because I feel like most of those guys like Bubba, but I feel like all it would take is one crew member or one driver to be like, hey, who the fuck is that guy? For them to kind of hustle him out of there and give him a hard time for the rest of the day.
Yeah, I get that. I think it's more so a liability thing of having just you can't really give anybody and everybody that is media starting line access, or else it's just going to be, if one thing goes wrong, there's going to be a huge problem. Like I said, with the restricted area pass, anybody can be in the staging lanes, and they can't say anything about it. But it is what it is. The NHRA sucks. I've been to multiple races. Their races are awesome. Like, Top Fuel and everything's very cool to watch, but them as a body and an organization, they suck. But anyway, Steelers are winning the Super Bowl. Russell Wilson, Patrick Queen. The team's basically unstoppable now.
Yeah.
Are you sucking off Derrick Henry? Did you buy your jersey yet?
No, actually, my fiance's nephew is a huge Titans and Derrick Henry fan, and he cried yesterday morning when the news came out. So I guess I have to buy him a Ravens Derrick Henry jersey now. I made that deal.
Make him cry some more.
He's like 6. Yeah, for when he leaves, and then he can sell the jersey. But what do you think about the Bucs? Are you happy with Baker? Or I think he's come to his own. I think the more established he gets, the better he's going to be.
I like the upside he showed last season. Now, I say upside because he played his best statistical season, so the question is obviously going to be how much better can he get. He's got a new offensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of things are going to have to go right on the offensive side of the ball for him to have another season like that, but I feel like we're too far into it now. You just gave him a 3-year deal. I'm totally fine with riding for the guy. I like rooting for him. I'm a fan of him.
He's a fun guy to root for.
He is a fun guy to root for. He's got a fun mentality, but I said this before. I feel like when you go back to the beginning of the 2023 season, the Bucs signed him to a 1-year deal. It was like a $4 million base. I feel like he played just good enough to fuck up their plans to draft a QB.
I still think they need to draft a QB.
I think no. I don't think they. Well, I mean,
I think they should and need to.
Yeah, but what if it ends up being you're not in a championship window, I guess. So if it ends up being another Kyle Trask, it's not the biggest waste of draft capital in the world. But I just. I still, as much as I like him and as much as I like rooting for him, I still have a hard time buying in 100% that he's going to be the guy to lead us to the promised land. But I can also completely understand the argument for why he deserves a stable atmosphere, because he hasn't had it. He's had 50,000 different offensive coordinators. He's been through so many different regimes since he came in the league. Every time he had a successful year, the next year something was changed, or there was an element taken out or added that he had to overcome. And, on top of that injury, I thought Cleveland kind of fucked him over on the way out.
Cleveland? They only like handsy quarterbacks.
Right. Yeah, they got the handsiest QB room in the league now. Old Jameis Winston going up there. He said God let him up there to help out a guy like Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, to show him how to do it the right way, not get caught?
I know you guys paid Mike Evans. Chris Godwin's still there, correct?
Yeah, he's got 1 year left on his deal.
Do you guys think you're going to draft a wide receiver in one of the early rounds to try to get a little bit more help to Baker, or?
I think they could, or they look for a cheap guy in free agency. I know it's more of a sexy name. I wouldn't expect any big splash signings, but Hunter Renfrow got released by the Raiders today.
I'd take him.
Okay.
He wouldn't be a bad wide receiver 3. He hasn't done much in Vegas. I could see them drafting a wide receiver because I think the jury is going to be out on keeping Chris Godwin next season.
Yeah.
They're paying him almost $20 million a year, and if you're going to build the defense, if you're going to invest in the offensive and the defensive line, which is what they need to do, they need to get some more edge rushers. It's going to be tough to do that not only when you're kicking the can down the road on some of these deals, but you're paying 2 wide receivers $20+ million a year. So I think after next year, Chris Godwin could be gone.
If he has the same year that he had this year, which it wasn't a horrible year.
I think he did hit 1,000 yards this year, though.
But you know what I mean? He was kind of quiet. I felt like they think that they probably should have got a little bit more out of him, which I have a feeling they are. I think Baker's going to be – I know there's going to be a new offense. I think he's going to be more comfortable. He's got, obviously, Evans locked up. I feel like it's just going to – I think Godwin's going to have another 1,000-yard year, but have a little bit more touchdowns. Because what do you have on touchdowns, like 3?
Yeah, it took him until like the 8th or 9th game of the year to get his first touchdown, I think.
Yeah. I mean, we can't have another Keyshawn Johnson here. But thank you.
Talking about Tampa, I brought that in, to talk about. What do you think about Derrick Henry signing? I love it, but we're just going to throw the ball 50 times in the playoffs next year, and then we're going to lose, and it's going to be all for what?
Well, I mean, yeah, Derrick Henry, you guys are fucked. Derrick Henry really can't catch the ball out of the backfield unless he all of a sudden finds hands.
But he can throw. He is a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, Derrick Henry is going to demand a trade by week 8 when Lamar takes all of his goal line touchdowns.
That's right.
No, that's Saquon and Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. No more tush push.
Jalen Hurts is going to – yeah. We're going to have a tush push with Derrick Henry at quarterback and Patrick Ricard behind him pushing him.
They're just going to run the Wildcat.
That would be pretty cool. But, all right, well, NHRA sucks. I'll talk to you guys later.
See you later.
See you, man.
Bubba Mom made a good point in chat that said, I think he was angry because they had a conversation about him having full access, and then they didn't give it to him.
Yeah, and I can understand it. Like I said, I wasn't there, so I didn't go with him. I don't have a full scale of what he did and did not have access to as opposed to maybe last year. So I get it. I get why he would be frustrated.
No. I don't know. I think pretty much Baltimore's still not going to. Well, I don't know. Last time I said it, we got a lot of hate for the rest of the year. I just don't think Baltimore is good enough to make it to the Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl.
They were damn close. And then they threw the ball 50 times.
Wow.
I literally think
that's a play calling, though. Did they get rid of their offense coordinator?
No, the good old Todd Monken. Listen, if they get rid of Monken, I'll gladly take him back. Tampa was a top 10 passing offense all the years he was ROC.
I like Todd Monken.
I did too.
I was hoping they would have brought him back.
I almost believe they went into that game with that game plan out of spite, because everyone and their mom said, hey, if you want to beat the Ravens, have them make Lamar throw. I think there were even 49ers players saying it at conferences before the game that week. They were like, hey, if you want to beat these guys, force them to throw the ball. That's what they did.
Yeah, I mean, that's it's true.
Yeah, it wasn't even it didn't even feel like they forced him to throw the ball. It felt like they just couldn't stop throwing the ball. And they had success running the football early in the game. But we've had that conversation.
Yeah,
before.
They got away from it. It's fine. I mean, it is what it is. You know what we haven't talked about, and I know that you're super excited about it, is the Bubba repacks.
Yeah, buddy. I
know that a lot of people may have not heard about it on the show, and we have a lot of sports fans. But our Bubba repacks, Rhett took an eye on a lot of this stuff, and I mean, what is your opinion on it, Rhett?
There's a lot of good stuff in there. I respect that it is exclusively a you and Fast Talk and Daniel Rose production. There's a lot of good stuff in there.
Yeah, you won't get a skunk, and go on. It's $100. I saw the value. We kind of valued everything out, and we guarantee that you will not be disappointed. And you almost like the minimum repack on it. I mean, maybe $60 to $75, but that's just how it's valued now. I mean, it could go up. I mean, a lot of autographs.
Yeah, I can guarantee you that you're not going to buy a repack and come away feeling like, fuck. There's enough dope stuff in there. It's rookie signatures, Hall of Fame signatures, limited series. You got some modern guys. You got some of the rookies that they've been talking about, or we've been talking about on the show with the other card breaks. There's a lot of winners in there. You're going to be happy.
And this is not obviously taken away from cards, because you'll get some cards in there, but like the one of the main prizes is the Alex Rodriguez bat and signed ball for his 696th home run. Rose said it's valued about $500. So I mean, obviously that's the number one, but you're not going to walk away, like Red said, feeling ripped off. So, and we are doing that next Friday at 11:30 after the Anna Hummel show. So,
we're going to do it here?
Yes.
Okay.
I was going to do it up. I was going to probably do it up on the stage.
Okay. Do you want to do it? Yeah, that's fine. Do you want to do it? I guess we'll just plan this all now. Do you want to do it from a cell phone or do you want to do it from Wirecast?
I figured we could almost do it from a Wirecast.
Yeah, we'll just have to. The audio will be
back on the stage too.
Yeah, it'll be through the hot mic, so it'll sound hot mic audio like we've had to do before when we do the card breaks.
I mean, realistically,
they did the phone on the last one.
And what I can explain what's pretty much it's going to happen is obviously there's going to be 50 boxes. You get in, obviously when you buy your box, you can buy multiple boxes if you want, or you can buy one. And then when we start, your name will, if you're number 4, if you're number 9, we'll put it in the random spinning wheel drawing kind of thing. And each box will, you will have your name on there. The boxes will all be numbered. Everything will already be packed in the box. So let's just say Big Red bought a box. We spin it. The wheel and a Big Red's name comes up on box number 1. He gets box number 1. We open it, and we show what he wins. Obviously, if he has multiple boxes, obviously we spin the wheel until until all 50 boxes are out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Saying? Sorry, this thing on my text is really bothering me. But yeah, because Dark Match Steve said, "What, Lummy?" I'm just saying, it's all going to be random, and you get in, we spin the wheel, and whatever number comes up when we're on your name is the box that you'll get. So don't miss out. Trust me, you'll want to. If you're not going to get it on this one, you'll want to get on the second one. Dana Rose is always searching for bigger and better things. Rhett knows that. He has a talk. I think you talked to him last week, and you hear the different things that he's looking to get and buy. He's always trying to
he's active.
Do it bigger and better.
He's active. He's a mover and shaker. He's involved in the industry. Like, he's on his P's and Q's, and he ultimately knows what people are looking for and where the really good value is. Like, he's a legitimate asset in the trading card game. He's almost like a walking encyclopedia.
He will be able to tell you what everything is worth, just by looking at it quickly. And he's not selling garbage. So, asshat. Yeah, we said asshat. I don't know. Did you see this Dark Match Steve thing, by the way?
No, what happened?
I don't know. Dark Match Steve says he has some allegation. I have no fucking clue.
Oh, I did. I heard about it. I don't want to secondhand explain it to you. I think it's something you may as well pull up and play on your own. Do you have the browser up there? If you can get to Instagram.
I mean, is it something for the main show, or because I don't want to take away?
No, I think it's probably. It's probably something we could.
What's it on Instagram?
We could hash out here. I think it's on his social media. Yeah, Instagram.com/.
This is gonna be on
Dark
Bubba's
Match
thing,
Steve.
All right, let me go straight to Instagram.
Oh well, he's telling you not to play it, but I don't know. You bring it up and make a big bellyache and chat over it. Now we got to play it, and he's changing his mind. He wanted you to see it.
Well, I mean, because I keep seeing Big E 7375 who gave $20 and Grouper Lips. Oh, Jesus, here we go. Dear God, no. Play it. Okay, well.
Do it.
We're not going to get in trouble here, You haven't seen it?
We might get, I haven't seen the full thing. We might get we might get demonetized.
I cannot believe what you did, parody. Man, I don't want to get in trouble. We had Alex
We're not
Stein
going to. You'll be
today.
fine. You'll be fine. Come on.
Parody.
You're going to have to restart it. All right, come on, Bubba. X out the video and then pull it back up.
Listen, I will. Okay. I think this is good. Nope. Wait, this one right here. All right. Let's just.
Yeah.
Here we go. Dark Match Steve.
Where the fuck?
For a minute. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy what's been going on. Cat Williams, he's been exposing a lot of stuff that goes on in the entertainment.
This is Dark Match Steve's video.
It's pretty crazy, some of the things that go on. I have my own story, actually.
Oh, Jesus
And
Christ.
I haven't ever talked about this. So.
How long is this?
2 minutes?
2 minutes?
2 minutes?
641.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Brandon the Quad.
What's up? It's the Quad.
Hey.
I clicked off the 2-minute video to go to a quick caller.
Say, let's take this phone call real quick.
Hey, I just saw Brock Purdy's he's not gonna win the Super Bowl this year. He just got married.
Oh shit! Did they re-sign him at all, or no? Did he marry his some chick that taking him away before he's making the millions? I'll say he probably gets divorced before that.
Yeah, I wonder if he's gonna have to sign a prenup now. Have her sign a prenup.
He's not making that much though. He's only making
he's still making
800,000,
peanuts.
900.
That's because he's from Iowa State. He doesn't know what the hell to do.
That's very true. That's very true, Brandon. Anything else, Brandon? Because we have this 2-minute video now, and it's 11:30.
Just 17 more days.
That's right. UFL. I knew when we were talking about it, you probably got a little hard on it. I mean, I know you're excited for the UFL football.
Yeah, just so I can bet my quarters.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You going to do some parlays with quarters, too? Bet all the teams? Try to pick them all? All your research?
Yeah, I am.
Well, I can't wait for the Brandon the Quad update on the UFL Week 1.
I got to do some research.
Oh.
Well, you got 2.5 weeks, buddy.
All
That's
right,
right.
guys, I'll let you get back to the video.
You're running out of time.
Yeah.
See you, Brandon.
All right, Brandon. Okay, let's just.
This was years ago. I was trying to get a job from Bubba the Love Sponge because Bubba the Love Sponge fired one of his co-hosts named Manson. Okay, and so I wanted to get the job, and so I went down to the studio this one day for the interview, and I get in the studio, and Bubba's in there, and there's one other person in there trying to get the job for Mike 2, okay? The one position open, and that person that was in there was Lummy.
Oh, shit.
Okay, obviously, we see where this is going.
Where is this
Lummy
going?
was trying to get the job too. And so we're talking to Bubba.
Okay, maybe it takes a spin, and Dark Match Steve's the one that gets on his knees, and I leave.
And Bubba goes, well, I only have one mic position open, cuzzies. So whoever's going to sign this contract has to S this D too. And I was like,
Immediately got on your knees and ripped off Bubba's
no,
jeans and
I would
sucked
never
his...
even do that to another man ever.
Oh, yeah.
So I got
the
up to
straightest
leave.
man in the universe.
Before
Dark
I
Man
could
Steve.
get out of the studio, Lummy was on his knees, okay? So, and I didn't look to see what he was doing. I don't think it was something Christianly, but...
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Anyway, that just goes to show you, it's not always who's the cutest and gayest.
What the hell was that supposed to mean? It's not always who's the cutest and gayest? Now I'm fighting for this.
It's who's the most Stockholmed alcoholic. Dark Match Steve here.
Okay, thank you, Dark Match Steve.
Those are some lofty accusations.
Now you ended up, got me Bye.